So I've been hanging out with a friend of mine named Nate for the last couple of hours. Shout out to you, Nate. You might be watching this video. And I've been talking to him about some of the things that I've learned in my last 4 years in business. And you know, I'm not the oldest guy in the world. I'm 21 years old. 4 years ago, I was a high school student trying to run a YouTube channel, but I have learned a thing or two. And I was talking to him and his eyes lit up when I explained one thing to him, and that is this. Number one, you need to ask yourself the question, what is your dream? And number two, you need to ask yourself, what is it going to take? How demanding is that dream going to be? You see, the mistake that most people make, and bear with me here because what I am telling you literally might change the entire course of your life. I am not exaggerating. I'm about to explain to you the one thing I attribute all of my success to right after the faith of Jesus Christ. Most people ask themselves two questions like this. They ask themselves, what are their dreams? And they ask themselves, what are those dreams going to take? But they ask them in the wrong order. They ask themselves, what is this dream going to take? And then they ask themselves, what are my dreams? I.e., it's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take 10 years. I'm going to have to bust my tail. I'm going to have to be away from my family. I'm going to have to miss dinner. I'm going to have to go into $100,000 worth of school debt. And then, secondary, after, they start asking themselves what their dreams are. I want to build a $1 billion company. I want to change the world. I want to help 1 million people not be hungry. I want to go and spread the gospel in Taiwan, and or in Thailand, and I want to share the word of Christ with 1 million people. Or I want to open a chain of restaurants, and I want to have 1,000 locations. I want to be a Michelin star chef. I want to do whatever it is. They get so discouraged by what it's going to take that by the time they get to asking themselves the question of what they want to do, they're so scared to actually say what they want to do because they just spent all the time thinking about what it's going to take. The biggest lie that has probably ever been fed to you is to live life safe. I'm not saying don't be wise. I'm not saying be stupid. I'm not saying don't be cautious. But I do take problem with this mindset of live your life safe. You know, if you were to ask yourself, what is your dream? And you're really honest with yourself, are you actually going to sit down and write out your dream and say, oh, I want to live on $45,000 a year, and I want to have to be worried about medical debt whenever my father gets cancer and I need to be able to take care of him. Or I don't want to be able to have enough money to put my kids through school. I want them to have to struggle and go into a bunch of debt. Nobody, if they were being honest with themselves, would sit down and write that as their dream. They get stuck in that. Why? Because they ask themselves, how hard is this going to be before they ask themselves what their dreams are. So here's what I encourage you to do. And I'm not kidding when I say that this might be the most important video that you've seen in a long time, because like I said, I attribute the vast majority of my success to stumbling into this the right way. What I did differently than all of my peers is that instead of first asking, what is this going to take? I first asked, what are my dreams? My dream is to build a $1 billion education company. My dream is to see tens, hundreds of millions of people become financially free. My dream is to revolutionize the way that Western education works. My dream is to see millions and millions of people learn about Bitcoin so that they can become financially free, not only from debt, but also from governments and institutions that don't have our best interest at heart. My dream is to help millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions, 1 billion people follow the exact same trajectory I had, which was pulling themselves out of a bad situation and then achieving their dreams. I want to see so many millions of people do that. And the thing that I did differently than everyone else is I thought about those dreams before I thought about what it was going to take. Most people think about what it's going to take, and then they think about their dreams, and they're so freaked out and scared by what it's going to take that they're not willing to be honest with themselves about what their dreams are. A dream is not meant to be realistic. You see, there's a place for realism. You do need to ask yourself that question, what is it going to take? Because a dream and a vision are two different things. A dream is what do you want? A vision is what do you want, plus how are you going to get it? You need to have a vision, but it starts with a dream. I encourage you, if you're one of the people out there, which is 99% of people, that start the process of thinking about the future by asking how hard is this going to be, and then they start asking themselves, what do I want? Turn the table, stop worrying about how hard it's going to be for 2 minutes, write out what you actually want, and then, yes, be responsible and think about what it's going to take. But please make sure you answer those 2 questions in the right order. Because if you don't, you will end up just like the hundreds of millions and billions of people around the world that every single day wish that something had have happened a little bit differently. And they don't even know what went wrong. But I'll tell you what went wrong. They asked themselves those 2 questions in the wrong order at some point in their life. Be a little crazy for a couple of minutes and be honest with yourself. What do you want? And then go get it. You can do it. That's all I got for you today, guys. Peace.